This is the Build Zone podcast.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to episode 114 of the Build Zone podcast. I am your host, Mike Maloney. And this week I am joined by a very special guest co-host, Jesse Geronino from USI. Jesse, welcome to the podcast, filling in for us.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me. Good to see you again.
It's good to see you. We were just talking a minute ago, but this episode is sponsored by the ABC Massachusetts Veterans Committee, and I am proud to be on that committee. And we do have had a few meetings with the veterans on there, and we're looking to gather some more veterans to be on the committee. So if you're listening and you want to be on the committee, reach out to me, Mike, at gwgci.org. We have had a couple of meetings with the committee, and we're looking to help veterans get into the construction industry. So if you're out there and you know someone that wants to get into the industry, you can reach out to myself, and we'll connect them with ABC Massachusetts members that are looking to hire some veterans. As Jesse just said, we're seeing each other again via Zoom here, but we just came back from Florida and the 2024 ABC National Convention. Jesse, as your first time going, what'd you think?
Well, I was pleasantly surprised. I was shocked at the size and the amount of people that came nationally. The event was fantastic, over 4 or 5 days total. Couldn't ask for a better location, getting away from the New England weather, going down to Florida at the Gaylord Palms Hotel. But overall, a great event, a lot of really good contacts, a lot of good times that were had socially outside of all of the meetings, and some fantastic things going on lobbying wise from the ABC nationally that is really going to help the construction industry in particular. So there's a lot of good things that came out of the event.
And I know that you had a little bit more on the meeting side of things with the early morning stuff, but did you get a chance to take in any of the craft competition stuff?
I did quickly. Unfortunately, I had to go to a couple of the board meetings, so I caught the tail end of it, but I did walk by. It was great to see some of our local companies actually win awards. I know that Chinbro and Deco were award winners in individual competitions at the event.
And then we're very proud to let everybody know that John Cruz won an award for diversity, equity, inclusion for a cruise company. So congratulations, John Cruz. I believe Deco won an award too, part of the safety plan for their STEP awards, things like that. And then we were very excited to announce that Paul Asselin, our teacher from out in Springfield Technical Community College, and he works for Elm Electrical, was the 2024 Craft Instructor of the Year. So we're very excited to make that announcement. And Owen Keppel won a bronze medal in the pipe welding. So it was a fantastic, week. It went by too quick. It's just nice to see people in person that you may have talked to through a Zoom in a meeting, or to see the folks from NCCR and Kathy Tyler, and to see Greg Sizemore, and everyone's very approachable. It's just a fantastic time. It's very well organized, very well thought out and put together, and it was a great time. Next year, Vegas, 75th anniversary. So if you're planning on going to Vegas next year, that'd be fantastic. It's always a great time. I've third time going to the convention. It was great. I absolutely love going. So,
and I would quickly note that if you're a member and you're not sure about going, or if you're not on the board, there were a lot of companies that went and built some great contacts, had a great family vacation. It was economical in that regard. I would highly recommend, if you're thinking about maybe wanting to go next year, to reach out to someone at ABC, because it's not just exclusive to board members or ABC chapter organization members.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point. So, there are people that just go down there just to kind of see what's going on with ABC National, and the convention itself has a lot of vendors and a lot of people that you can talk to and meet to, and get with and see face to face rather than Zoom. It was nice to see Jesse outside of the ABC thing, because you can relax by the pool, and you can have a drink, and you can have a bite to eat, and you can go out at night. And we went to the Pirate Show Friday night. What'd you think of the Pirate Show?
A lot more talented than I thought they were going to be. I was quite surprised. Must have had a lot of gymnasts or prior The Voice contestants on at that particular group, because I was pretty shocked at the level of their ability and talent.
And one of the things that Diane Craven does for the group when we go to the conventions, he organizes some type of first night dinner for everybody. So we take 25 or 30 people. Last year went to medieval times. This year went to the pirate adventure, and it's a big pirate show adventure. There's a big pirate ship in water and pirates swinging from the rafters and people doing flips and cartwheels and trampolines, and they make it really interesting. They bet the kids at the end were the best, had them all dressed like red coats with their little muskets and firing at the pirates. It was great.
Yeah.
Food was great. You get nice meal, cold drinks, good company. It's just nice to be outside out of the work environment and get to see people, let their hair down a little bit, and just to hang out. It's really nice. And the fact that even just me walking around, I bumped into a few people that had been guests on the podcast before and stopped me and took a picture. It's just nice. It's nice to see people face to face. This week, listen, Allison's off sick this week. Not feeling well. So hopefully when she listens to this, we'll send her some good thoughts and some good energy to get better soon. But we've got Jesse helping us out. And on this week on the podcast, we were happy and excited to interview Paul Asselin, 2024 Craft Instructor of the Year. He had previously won the Paul McDonald Award here, Teacher of the Year for GCI. So it's kind of a 2-4. A couple of years ago, won the Paul McDonald Award, which we award to the best teacher at GCI through a nomination process to nominate him. And then this year I nominated him for the Craft Instructor of the Year. He wanted, he gets the big check, gets to take the big check, gets to party with the big check. Did you party with us in the big check up in Ken Tyberski's room? I don't think you were there.
No, I did not. You guys were a little too late for me. I couldn't do it because I had to get up for a meeting in the early morning. But I did see Paul win the award. It was a fantastic award ceremony with over 1,000 people at it, and congratulations again to him. I know he does a lot, and there was a lot of discussions with him with other guild members from other parts of the country and what they were going to drive as far as changes to the structuring of the program and the trainings themselves. So congrats to him. I'm glad he won the $10,000, and couldn't have gone to a better person.
We partied in Ken Tyberski's room that night, and he had the presidential suite at the Gaylord Palm. So he had this huge suite, and I can't believe, we partied a little too hard, probably too loud. So I'm surprised they didn't come up and tell us to quiet down. But we just had a good time. It was just a nice time to get together and hang with everybody. It was people were, it was exciting. I think Paul had to walk back to his room late that night with his check in his hand. So that was awesome. All right, so it was great. It was great. Thanks again to everybody that came with us and had a good time. And let's hear it from Paul. All right, listen, this is going to be a good one. We got a good guest on with us this week. We've got Mr. Paul Asselin, the 2024 ABC National Craft Instructor of the Year. Congratulations, Paul, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Mike. Great to see you.
It's been a long time, hasn't it? It's been quite a few hours since we last
just a few hours. That's it.
Yep. So Paul, for those that don't know who you are, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself and what you do for Elm.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mike. My name is Paul Asselin. I'm the training director here at Elm. I do all of our apprentice training, run our apprentice training program. We have our own in-house program. It's been very successful here at Elm. We're trying to fix the lack of manpower issue that the trade is seeing. We're hitting it head on and just dealing with it instead of complaining. So I'm fortunate to be able to head that up. Also teaching for Gould 4 nights a week, teaching our apprentice program at Stick, as well as the master's program at Stick, and enjoy doing that for the Gould Construction Institute. And it's great to be with you here today.
So for those that didn't catch it, Paul teaches for his daytime job and his nighttime job 4 nights a week and during the day. So he is a true testament of someone who has a passion for trainings. One of the things I want to just touch upon too is that Paul Asselin was the very first winner of an award we gave out here, the Paul McDonald Distinguished Teacher of the Year Award. It was an award named for an electrical instructor named Paul McDonald, passed away a few years ago. And I thought it was very fitting that for all the work that Paul McDonald did for the school, it was fitting for us to name an award and give it to a teacher, that's been nominated by the students and, picked by the students. And Paul was the very first winner. So why don't you talk a bit about that? Because it kind of rolls into the last award you got. So tell us a bit about that award.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. The Paul McDonald Distinguished Teacher Award is very near and dear to my heart. Paul McDonald was a dear friend, and actually the night before he passed, he and I taught a virtual class together. That was during COVID, and he and I were able to have a couple of laughs together, tell some stories. He said some very nice things about me that night, and when I was honored with that award, and especially being the first recipient, I was extremely proud of that, and very appreciative. And it really meant a lot, and especially because Paul was a near and dear friend.
And when we gave out that Paul McDonald Award, it kind of led into us, building the foundation to have you nominated for the ABC National Craft Instructor of the Year Award, and you were nominated last year. And I know you made it pretty far in the the decision making of that particular award last year. And then when we submitted you this year, we were super excited to find out that you won it for this year. And we were beyond excited just because of all the hard work you do and your commitment to the students and the school and all the things that you do out there in Springfield is so much appreciated. So there wasn't anybody else that we would, rather see this award go to. What was your thinking when you were A, told you were nominated, and B, when you were told you won?
Oh, just being nominated was an honor, to be recognized. Any recognition, is good. And, typically, especially being a teacher, there's typically not a lot of recognition for that, which it's we get, and it's okay. It's all about the students, getting them prepared for their exam so that they can pass their test. And it's a job, and this is what we do. And we typically don't get recognized for our jobs. But getting, first of all, nominated, and again, I really appreciate that from you guys, and then to hear that I had won I was just ecstatic. And when Jarrell had called me, which is the second time, the first time obviously we didn't make it. We made it to the top three, didn't make it to the finish line. But this year he called me and was downplaying it and kind of, yeah, how's it going, and he said that I had won, and I was just totally surprised and really happy to hear that news. So, it's not very often we get recognized, especially on a national level. It was great, the local level. We have a lot of great teachers here in Massachusetts that teach for Gould, and I was very fortunate and very proud to receive that. But then to follow up with a national award was just mind-blowing. And the attention I got at the last week was just phenomenal. It made me feel like a rock star.
Right. That was my next question was, so that you win it and you get to go down to Florida, right? They get to go to Florida, accept the award, and you're kind of treated like a rock star, right? I see pictures being taken, and I'm sure you shook a lot of hands that week. What were some of the highlights that you took away from, last week being in Florida?
Well, the event itself, I mean, the convention itself is phenomenal. It's a celebration of the apprentices and their hard work and developing them into crafts people to be able to carry on our tradition, right? So the main focus is on them. We're kind of a sideline. There's a few of us that are nominated for. We got the Young Professional of the Year and Craftsman of the Year, and then the Instructor of the Year award. They definitely make a big deal out of it. The presentation was phenomenal. I had my cheering section from Gould, which was really nice. None of my family was able to make it, but that's fine because I have my Gould family there, and Kayla made that awesome sign. I don't know if you'll be able to show that somehow.
I will. Yeah, I took a good picture of it.
But yeah, and if a picture of me and a picture of that together, I saw the picture. It was uncanny. I laughed. That was kind of the highlight. I got to tell you that the poster was kind of the highlight because it was unexpected, and Kayla did such a phenomenal job on it. She is an awesome person, and to take her time to do something like that for me was great. And
yeah, one of the things that we do before we leave is we make posters for all the competitors the night of the award ceremony. So that day when you got your award, was it Wednesday night you got your award?
Correct.
Wednesday night. Yeah, Wednesday night you got your award. And we gave it to sit front row down there and cheer you on and be there for you, which was amazing. The national, chapter, they make a big deal about it, right? It's a big deal. There's a room full of people, everyone's cheering you on. You get to go on stage, and they gave you the big giant check, right? You get the
Yeah.
big check that you get to take home.
Yeah, the
And
Happy Gilmore check, I call it,
the
right?
Happy Gilmore check, yeah. And it's fantastic because we see you later that night. You got the check in the when we met up with you later that night, and it's a big deal. It's a you get your big picture on the screen up there and shaking people's hands. As far as the because you were there for quite a while. How many hands do you think you shook that week?
Oh, quite a few. And obviously the sponsors, spent a lot of time with the sponsors, NCCER and Tradesman International. They sponsored the awards for us. So we spent a lot of time with them. A lot of pictures, like you saw us wandering around and taking pictures with the sponsors. And they also made videos of us, which they had a really short clip during the award ceremony, but there's going to be a longer version that's going to be coming out in a little while here that I'm kind of excited to see. So, and I'll tell you, you wearing this shirt that says 2024 Craft Instructor of the Year on it, and people notice that, and we're shaking my hand and congratulating me, and especially after Wednesday when they saw me on stage. So I really did meet a lot of great people, got congratulated by a lot of nice people, and just had a great time.
And you get to really be part of the festivities, right? You get to go a lot of the parties and see a lot of people, and I mean it is a big deal to to see ABC Massachusetts up on the big screen, the Google Construction Institute up on the big screen, your name. I mean, I felt an immense sense of pride just because hopefully we'll see it again, and in the 35 years I've been doing it, or I don't know if anybody's ever won. I don't think anybody's ever won from an instructor, at least from and we have 60 teachers that are all very capable of winning this award. They got 60 unbelievable teachers. They all do a fantastic job. We're going to keep nominating people, and if we win it back to back, that'd be great. And if we get to go down the next award ceremony and be there for someone else. What are you looking to do now that you're the Craft Instructor of the Year? What's next for you? You kind of climbed the mountain here.
Yeah, no, just gonna keep on improving our program here, keep trying to improve on myself, become a better teacher, hopefully be able to mentor some younger people and get them into teaching, and just keep this train rolling. I mean, this ain't the finish. This is only the new beginning.
Yeah.
Right now. I just happen to be an award-winning instructor now. That's the only difference. So
for those people out there that may be listening that are on the fence about teaching, right? And we've talked about this before about just the teaching. It's so hard to find a good electrician. Now you're trying to find a good electrician that wants to be a teacher and then wants to continue to be a good teacher, right? Anybody can get up there and just read from a book and read for 3 hours and take a paycheck, but it takes someone else to do like you do, inspire and motivate and educate, right? All those things are very important. If you had to tell someone who's on the fence about teaching, what is some advice you'd give them?
Just to do it, just jump in feet first. And that's basically what I did, early 2000. I was asked, they wanted to start the program at Stick, and I was one of the first instructors to start that program. And I'll tell you, it wasn't easy at first. It was a little scary. You know how to do the stuff, but to teach it is a little bit different. And I tell anybody, if you really want to learn how to do something well, teach it, because it forces you to understand it in a way that you can explain it to somebody that has no idea, what they're doing, and be able to explain it to them well enough that they actually understand. And that's kind of key to teaching is understand it to the point that you can break it down for them. And I even last night, teaching last night, I had to explain a concept maybe 3 different ways until the students finally got it. And it's just I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. I try my best. I really do. I put my heart into it, and until I see the eyebrows, stop furling on the student, yep, I'll keep trying. I'm like, all right, so let me try this way. It's not their fault they don't understand. It's just I'm not connecting with them. I might connect with 9 out of the 10, but that one just doesn't get it. So you just got to stick with it, and do your best. Be patient, right? And I know even sometimes now I still get frustrated. I'm I'm not frustrated with the students. I'm frustrated with myself because I know it and I just can't get it across. So, somebody that's on the fence, do it. It's very satisfying. You put a couple extra bucks in your pocket. That doesn't hurt either. Gould has some, is a great company to work for. We get some good benefits, even for a part-time job. I mean, we never had benefits before. Now, we got some nice benefits that Gould offers. So it's kind of a no-brainer to me. It just take to invest a little bit of time. And I'll tell you, and I just saw another journeyman electrician that went through our Gould program years ago, and he's still in the trade. And he made a point of it to say hello and that he remembered me and thanked me for everything I helped him with. So it's very satisfying, and you're not going to know until you try. I mean, if you don't want to jump in totally feet first, maybe substitute. Or I'm sure you guys would allow shadowing. We've done shadowing before,
Yep.
just so they can kind of check it out and maybe run a class with the teacher still there.
Yep.
And just give it a shot, because you don't know until you try. And
Is there a time when you were just starting off teaching, right? And did you ever when you first start off, was it kind of like I'll see how it goes, a couple extra bucks in my pocket, we'll see how it goes. What was the moment where you kind of like flick the switch and were like, this is something I really enjoy doing?
Well, it's probably a few years in, because the first few years you're learning yourself and you're struggling, and it takes time to understand all the curriculum. And it took an awful lot of time in the beginning for me, to get back to high school or voc school and relearn all this stuff that I now have to teach. So, it was probably a few years.
Right.
So even if, after the first year, if somebody doesn't feel comfortable, that's okay. That's probably normal. It's going to take a few years, because first year you're just getting your feet wet. Second year, you're kind of getting into your groove. And by the third year, you feel pretty comfortable, and it's not so bad. It really isn't. It's actually pretty fun.
Then Mike shows up and throws a monkey wrench in and asks you to teach a different level. And then
It's never say no. Never
Well,
say no. I've never say no to an opportunity. Never say no.
what's a challenge that you have to overcome, whether it be it's your first year teaching, your 15th or your 25th year? What's a challenge, you think?
What's the challenge?
Yeah, what's one of the biggest challenges, do you think? Whether it be your own, something that maybe you face in class, maybe it's some teachers might say it's the students in their phones, always glued to the phones, getting them off the phones, getting them to it's the hands-on piece. It's the
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you have a student that just, is not as engaged as you'd like them to be. And so you just have to, you have to hit that head on. And I've had to do that in the past, where you tell a student that, listen, you're going to be here, you're going to participate, or you're just not going to be here. Sometimes you got to take the hard line with these young people, and they respond. They definitely respond. It's when, I don't want to, the teacher's like, I don't want to cause any problems. I don't want to, make them mad at me. And
Right.
then you got to deal with this garbage for a long time, just like raising kids. If you don't deal with the problems when they're young, well, then you wind up with an older kid, down the line with bigger problems. So it's just, hit the issues head on, whatever they are. And I've had other students come up to me and say, hey, thanks for shutting that down. They're really distracting. And it's, they pay a lot of money for this class. They deserve the full 3 hours of education and no nonsense. And they know. I said, I don't play those games. My students will tell you, it's tardiness. They got to be on time. Your boss expects you to be on time. So do I. And once you lay the law down and they understand where you're coming from, and they see they're getting a good education and getting value for their money, it's no problem. So that's why I hesitated, because I'm like, I really don't have any struggles, because I learned over the years you deal with this stuff right away before it becomes a problem or an issue.
Why do you think teaching the students to nowadays about tardiness is so important? I'm so, what I mean? Like, as we deal with day two on the, the daytime class here, students want to show up 5 after, 10 after. They don't understand how important it is why do you think that is?
Well, it's society is a little more laid back than it used to be. And And I don't think people are held to the same regard that they used to be. But, I feel that the trades, and you talk to any person that's been in a trade for any amount of time, kind of the most important thing, those soft skills for employment is just showing up on time. And I'm trying to hammer that in, to these students, that just show up on time, reach out, shake somebody's hand. These are soft skills that, sometimes get lost, especially during COVID. We had to stay, 6 feet away from each other. I mean, shaking
Yeah.
hands, you couldn't, I always felt weird. I'm so programmed, and you introduce yourself, you look somebody in the eyes and give them a firm handshake. I
Yeah.
mean, and then we got away from that. And now, some of these young people are still, dealing with that, hey, whenever we're out and about, we just had to stay away from each other. They couldn't shake hands, but we're back. We're getting back to the norm now. So
speaking about, just teaching some of the people about tardiness, in the military, if they tell you we're leaving here at 0600 and you don't show, and it's 0600, they're leaving. And if you show up at 601 and they've already left without you, you're in a lot of trouble. That's why it's by, so being being a few minutes early is a good thing. And, being on time, Bill Berg said it down in Florida, 15 minutes early is on time, and on time is actually late. So it's,
that's what I say the same thing. I'm like, shoot for 15 minutes early. And if you're 10 minutes late, you're still 5 minutes early. That's kind of my mantra,
Right. And then, the teacher's not starting the class and waiting for you to have to repeat things. Well, work can start because everyone's there and we can get to work.
Sure.
How important that is.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got work for them when they come in. So if they show up a half hour early, I'm already there, and that's written on the board what they need to do. And they want to start early, they start early. So it works out well. But again, it took a long time to develop, where I'm at today.
It's setting the example, right? That's the example the teacher sets. Teacher's there a few minutes early. Teacher's not showing up at 5 after 6 for a 6 o'clock class, right? He's bumbling his bag and his book, and you gotta set things up. He's already there, ready to go. Welcoming as soon as they show up.
Yeah, your CO was never late, right? Your CO was always there before you guys got there, right?
Man, he was out there waiting for us, right?
Yeah.
When we said that we're leaving, we're marching, and we're taking off for our march at 06 at 6 o'clock. We're left face and we're marching. And if you show up at 6:01, you might as well just stand by, because when he gets back, it's not going to be a good time, because you're right there. You missed the
People are depending on you. They depend you to be there on time to start work, or to, go on that march. It's all about mutual respect. And to me, coming in late shows a little bit of disrespect, but that's just the way I
am. Let's see. What do you think is the most rewarding for being a teacher? What's the biggest reward, do you think?
When those students come back after they've received their license, they've put, 4 years, 8,000 work hours, 600 classroom hours in, taking an exam that it really is not easy. Hopefully it's a little bit easier for them, because they've gotten a good education, but it is not an easy test. And when they come back and thank you, that, hey, really appreciate what you did for me. The test went well. I got it first shot. That's all I need, because that's basically, why we're here is to get these craftspeople out into the trade with a license and send them off on a trade that's going to take care of them the rest of their life.
And we're hoping that the teachers have planted the seed, that they go through all that, the 8,000 work hours, all the school hours and the work hours, go out, get their license and get in the field. Then hopefully they come back and teach. Hopefully someone says, man, I really loved how Paul, all the things he taught me, I want to come back and teach. And we know it's not right away. We know that it doesn't happen as soon as they get their license, but maybe a couple of years after they get their license and they get that little spark or that passion, just like you did. What is one thing you'd change about what about your career? Let's say, what is something you'd maybe change?
What
If you
would
could.
I change?
Yeah.
I honestly don't think I would change anything. I think, I've done a lot of different things here at Elm. I've gotten a lot of opportunities, and never, like I said, never say no. It's another opportunity. I mean, some of them worked out great, some of them not so much. We adjusted. We, just kept trying to see what fit. And even this, training program we're doing now, we started out with 5 or 6 employees in a conference room back at our main office, just to see, does the concept even work? And it worked out. And made the investment in our training facility. And, now we got 35 some odd employees, in 4 different levels that we're running through this program, and it's phenomenal.
It's the facility out there is beautiful. It's a beautiful facility. It's like a dream place, right? It's got the perfect setup
Yeah.
for
Oh, I'm spoiled rotten. I'm spoiled rotten.
classrooms. Yeah, I'm super jealous of what you got going on there. It's like a big kids playroom, right? Like a big kids toy room.
It is.
I don't know
Very
what most of it
fortunate.
is, but I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
All right,
very fortunate.
that's 2024 Craft Instructor year, Mr. Paul Asselin. Paul, if they want to get a hold of you, if anybody has any questions out there about teaching, about anything in general, even about the award, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Email works the best. passlin@elmelec.com. And Mikey, you're welcome to share that.
I will. And then now comes my favorite part of the podcast. It is the lightning round with some lightning sound effects and some lightning bolts coming through here on the video piece. But who was your childhood actor or actress crush? Your crush as a kid. Who was your childhood actress crush?
Hannah. What was that? What was her? Daryl Hannah.
Daryl Hannah. Oh, that's a good one. If you have to sing karaoke, what song do you pick?
No, I don't sing karaoke for obvious reasons, but if I had to pick, it'd have to be something easy. I don't know. Probably something, something from a number of years ago. Wouldn't be anything current, because that's the stuff I listen to is way too much.
All right.
Way too intense. But I don't know. Maybe some Blue Eyes, maybe some Sinatra.
All right. If you had to eat one meal every day for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Hate to say it, but pizza and salad.
Yeah. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Do the right thing.
What would your talent be if you were Miss or Mr. World?
If I was Mr. World, what would my talent be? Super strength.
If you could add anyone to Mount Rushmore, who would it be and why?
Mike Maloney, because he's the best.
Jesus.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't even have to think about that one.
Bonus points. Oh my
I didn't
God.
even think about that.
I'm gonna try to figure out about my face on Mount Rushmore and do the video.
Yeah,
piece.
you got it. That'd be awesome.
What was the worst job you ever had?
Worst job I've had, 3 jobs. A newspaper boy, worked in a greenhouse, and my current job here at Elm. So worst job, I guess, would be the greenhouse.
Yeah. Which band or artist, dead or alive, would play at your funeral?
Dave Grohl.
What's your favorite place of all the places you've traveled?
Turks and Caicos.
Are you a cat person or a dog person?
Dog.
Would you go with aliens if they beamed down on Earth?
As long as they're gonna, maybe even if they don't bring me back, sure, why not? Never say no, right?
If you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would you choose and why?
Commit any crime. Have to be some vigilante thing or something, I guess, right?
Yep.
Doing the right thing, even though it's not the right thing.
Would you rather live in near the ocean or the mountains?
Ocean.
Let's see here. Favorite memory with your best friend. What is your favorite memory with your best friend?
Playing bike ball tag. We used to play ball tag on our bicycles when we were kids. It was phenomenal. We map out this neighborhood and had to stay on those streets and just play ball tag.
Oh, that sounds like a pretty damn good game. What is your least favorite subject in school?
Least favorite? History.
Are you a good dancer?
No.
Oh.
Only when I've been consuming adult beverages, apparently, I think. But no.
And then we always like to ask this one. There's a dinner tonight at the Asselin house, and there's a food fight. What is your weapon of choice? And you cannot say mashed potatoes.
I already had that loaded, ready to go.
I knew it.
Peas.
It's a good one, right? Little flick action with the spoon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who you going for? The wife first or your grandson first? Who you getting first?
Like buckshot, gonna get both at the same time.
Get together. All right, that's our friend Paul Asselin. Thank you so much for being on, Paul. We appreciate you so much. Everyone at the school appreciates you, and we love what you're doing. And we want to capture your spirit in a bottle and sell it, but can't do that. That'd be creepy.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.
Thank you. means so much to me to have Paul Asselin on the podcast again. Big win. It's so exciting. ABC Massachusetts been doing this for a long time, and to have someone from our chapter win that award is fantastic. It was an honor. It's just great to be there for him. I'm excited for him and his family. He does a great job. He's got a great family. He cares so much about the students, the apprentices, the people he's teaching. Hopefully the students appreciate how much he does. All right, coming up, I'm going to do Allison's part, but in upcoming trainings, we've got a fall protection class coming up April 12th from 8 to 2 here at the Woburn office. We've got a sheet metal prep for journeyman exam coming up on April 13th from 8 to 12, again at the Woburn office. And we've got a 608 Universal Certificate program taking place April 13th from 8 to 12 here in the Woburn office. If you have any questions about upcoming events, you can reach out to Allison at gwgci.org or check us out on the training calendar, gwgci.org/events. And then now let's read the news. And this week's news brought to you by Energy Electrical Contractors, Metro Walls, and the Veterans Development Corporation. Project labor agreement is back. Springfield Water and Sewer Commission changes course again. And nobody ever said it was easy being a merit shop contractor in Massachusetts last week after the project had been put out to bid. The Springfield Water and Sewer Commission voted to add a union-only project labor agreement as an addendum to the bid documents for the $350 million West Parish treatment plant. Our chapter has not waved the white flag. We are evaluating a number of options and will keep you apprised of the progress. Can't talk about it enough. Deco's Owen Keppel wins bronze in welding at National Craft Championships. To all the competitors, they all did a fantastic job. They should all be proud of themselves. They all did a great job, hoping that they can come back next year and compete again. And we talked about Paul Asselin winning the big awards. Congratulations to him and the folks out at M Electrical. And we will talk a bit about upcoming events for ABC Massachusetts. We've got the Construction Safety Roundtable series taking place on Thursday, March 28th here at the Woburn office, facilitated by Milt Jacobs, Safety Solution Consultants. We've got a lunch and learn going on with the folks at ABC National, Patrick Scarpati, talking about AI in the construction industry. Big event coming up, Meet the Generals, Thursday, April 4th over at Granite Links in Quincy, Mass from 5 to 8. If you want to register for that event, it is filling up. We've got over 100 people enroll and register for the event. So if you're not sure what Meet the Generals is, they put 17 of the biggest GCs in ABC Massachusetts over at Granite Links. You can go in, network, talk, meet, hand out business cards, get to know people. Again, one of the benefits of being an ABC Mass member, you get to come to this event and talk to people. So you going to that event, Jesse?
Yes, I will be there.
Meet the Generals. Yep, it's a great event. It's a big one for ABC Mass. So try to plan on being there. And then we've got another lunch and learn with the folks over at Notify. They were at ABC's national convention down in Florida. Notify, there's a wealth of value in job costing data, and Notify can help you figure that out. And then let's see here, Building Mass Careers. My picture on the newsletter is crazy. I made a silly face, and they caught me with a camera, so good for them. We've got the Metro Southwest Trade and Construction Expo coming up Wednesday, April 3rd, and the Mascot Conference taking place Wednesday, April 8th and 9th. If you want to know more about Building Mass Careers, Steve Sullivan does a fantastic job getting people into pre-apprenticeship and into the construction industry. You can reach out to Steve at abcma.org. Let's see here. Again, we talked about John Cruz and Deco winning awards down in Florida, so congratulations to both of them. Our friend Jim Abbott over at Claro Advisors looking for some help with the Project Pinball charity, looking for some help. Charity is currently seeking to help Christopher's Haven, which houses family members while a patient is receiving cancer treatment. You can reach out to Jim Abbott if you have any questions on that. And Metro Walls recently sponsored a 16th annual Battle of the Badgers, Dartmouth Health Children's Battle of the Badgers Hockey Championship. Match Team Police against Team Fire March 10th at the SNHU Arena in Manchester. Way to go, Metro Walls. Congratulations to them. And as always, if you want to be on the podcast, me, Mike, gwgci.org. And I know Jesse's got a great event coming up. And Jesse, what do you want to talk about on this event?
So May 9th, the membership committee, along with Future Comp and USI, is going to be putting on a Top Golf event in Canton. I know that we do have some members that helped build that new facility in the about a couple of years ago. But from 6 till about 8 or 9 o'clock, we're going to have virtual golf. There will be a pro actually giving tips out for the first hour, live leaderboards for the golfing itself. and DeWalt is going to be there as well, one of our members, giving out. We're going to have some prizes for closest to the pin and longest drive and lowest score. And of course, there's going to be a lot of food, barbecue spread. It's going to be pretty substantial. So if anyone would like to go learn more about the self-insured group or help us out with building up the membership, we are going to be bringing in some people that are not current ABC members that we're looking to have join the organization. Please reach out to Venus or myself or Jim Abbott in regards to going to the event. It is a limited amount of people that we can bring, but it is going to be free to those that can go. And again, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out to anyone on the membership committee.
And we've talked about it the past couple of months with different members about the importance of the different committees. Jesse and I are on the membership committee, and it's all about getting people to join ABC Massachusetts and stay with ABC Massachusetts. Jesse is doing a phenomenal job getting this meeting together off the ground and get people involved. So another perk of being a member is committees and networking and getting to know people. And it's great people like Jesse that, work for great ABC members and do a great job getting us together. So, want to come, bring a friend, reach out. We'd love to have you. All right. That's episode 114. Remember to like, tag, share, follow. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, Jess.
Thanks. Take care, Mike.